What is up, guys? Welcome back into the All About Profit podcast. Today, Austin and I are going to be telling you guys the hottest items that we are selling on eBay and Amazon right now. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I kind of wanted to just put a little disclaimer out there. Obviously, we both sell a lot of things online, so you may consider us kind of experts in this field, but don't just take our word and go buying stuff without doing research on it. This game is a game of research, and you need to make sure that you're doing your research, checking your comps on everything, because honestly, anything can sell at the right price. I get that question asked all the time, like, hey, is this profitable? Can this item or this brand be profitable? Anything can be profitable if you buy it at the right price. So just because we say to buy Crocs or whatever we're going to tell you to buy today, that doesn't mean just buy everything in that brand. I see a lot of people do that a lot of times. Don't do that. Do your research and run the numbers. It's a math game. So let's hop straight into it. Austin, how you doing tonight?
Pretty good. To reiterate, most definitely anything can sell at the right price. I remember whenever my sister and I were outside, not having a lemonade stand, not having a yard sale or cookie stand, but we were literally flipping rocks out of our driveway. We were selling them for like a penny and change a piece. So that just goes to show that you can sell anything to make money. And like Adam said, this is the thing. These are the things that we're selling that work for us. So what works for us may not work for you, or you may learn something from this and find a new bread and butter item that you can sell every single week. So we're just going to talk about the things that are selling for us right now in this time in this market, and hopefully you guys can pick up on a few things. And if you have any questions or comments about things that are reselling, drop them now so that we can talk about them during the pod. And then also, if you're not already subscribed, subscribe to both of our channels. They're linked in the description.
Yes, Austin's link is the first one in the description. And yeah, kind of like he said, like this is just what we're interested in and what we sell. You don't have to sell this stuff. If you're not interested in it, I've said this in a bunch of my videos, I wouldn't suggest selling it. Sell in the areas that you know. There's plenty of profit to be made out there in all areas of the store. I was literally just out of Burlington, and this lady had a cart full of baby clothes. And I was like, are you selling those? She's like, yeah. And then she saw my 2 carts of men's shoes. And she's like, are you selling those? I'm like, yeah. So it's like, you can go to different parts of the store and find different people that are selling different things. So I think it's just really cool. And you should just sell whatever your niche is.
So then
Welcome
you went
in,
and got
Gardner.
a cart and filled it with baby clothes, right?
No, because that doesn't interest me. I don't want to be out there listing baby clothes. Like, it's no fun to list things that you're not knowledgeable in or that's not fun. Like, I love listing like men's shoes, like NBA jerseys, like things like that I'm interested in. So
Sure.
that's kind of what I stick to.
With that being said,
let's go.
let's go. With that being said, we can kind of get into it. And just like what you said, whenever you're sourcing things that you like or you have an interest in, it makes it fun. I took my girlfriend sourcing for the first time. It was kind of an unintentional sourcing trip, but she sourced these Air Maxes that are behind me right now, and it was probably the most profitable thing that I came up on this trip. I think we paid like $50 for those, and they're reselling all day for over 100. So it's going to be an easy bill on those. And she said herself, she's like, this is fun. You know, it's like a scavenger hunt whenever you find money in the store that people wouldn't expect to be able to buy things to resell them and make money.
It really is. It's exhilarating. Like, I've told people I could literally just do OA, source stuff online straight to my doorstep, make probably more money than if I wasted my time in the retail stores buying ones and twos. But like, what's the fun in that? Like, yeah, there's a little scavenger hunt online, but I'd rather get out there in the stores and hunt and find those deals, especially right now. There's lots of deals to be had.
Yeah, I agree. I like it way more in store. I find myself like whenever I'm looking for nice. What's up? Whenever I'm looking for even like leads for bread and butter, I gotta be in the mood for it. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I get bored and maybe like I don't know where to look as much online maybe sometimes. Like I got a few sites that I feel like I can find money, but for the most part in the store, like I just go to those niche areas and like the areas of my interest, and I have more fun even looking at stuff that maybe won't sell.
And online is pretty dry right now. That's just the time of year. Everyone's already kind of liquidated everything from Christmas, and they've got all their stuff up at like normal prices now. Now, come like end of summer, it's going to be crazy because they're going to be clearing out everything for the next quarter four. So there'll be a lot of online stuff, but now is definitely a great time to get out there in store sourcing. And let's dive right in to some of the good products that we have been selling. Number one, you guys see me sell this in every single one of my videos. underwear. I love to cook me some undies online, in store, everywhere. I cleaned up on the Kohl's clearance event with Calvin Klein and Nike underwear. Probably got about 50 to 60 boxes at like 10 different Kohl's stores. And I think those were between like $5 and $7, and I'm selling them all day for $25 and $30. And then actually at a local grocery store, Mark's, it's like a discounted grocery store. I did a little reel on this, so if you haven't seen that, or a YouTube short, go check that out. But those were $7.99, and I'm selling those for $26 to $30 all day long. So like underwear, that's something that like we talked about in our recession video. Even in a recession or in the downtime of the year, which is right now, people are always buying underwear, like find necessities, and that is something that has just been a nice bread and butter item for me.
For sure. What platform are you moving most of those on?
Those are on eBay actually for the Calvin Klein. A lot of the Nikes are actually Amazon, which I'm trying to move those back to eBay because people keep returning used underwear, and it's like, what the heck do I do with this? So I kind of
What?
just I turn it inside out and then resell it. No, no, I throw it away.
You're for real. You've gotten returned used underwear.
Yeah, I've gotten brown spots on them before too, which is lovely to get
That's
on white
incredible.
underwear. White 2X's underwear, actually.
No way. So they just like repackage them so it's the same weight and it looks like the package details are the same for the return.
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't just like usually it's like one pair that's worn. So is it like it didn't fit? But like the dude that like crapped himself in them, I'm like, why would you send the one that you crapped yourself in back?
Yeah, that's more work than what it's worth, I feel like. Just for some free underwear, I think I'd rather just buy them at that point.
Send them to Goon.
Goon will
I
move
will. I will.
So we kind of touched on something else already. If you want to interrupt, go ahead though.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say we had a really good underwear deal. I forget what the retailer was, but it was 3-pack for $5.99. I think it was American Eagle, yeah, and they were going for like $25 to $30. Haven't sold any yet. Just got them in. That's just going to be a great bread and butter inventory that's going to sell over time. The Calvin Kleins and the Nikes are going to move really quick, but like American Eagle, like I'll probably have. I think I bought like 250 pairs of those things. They'll probably all be gone within like a year. And I know Chaos actually already sold the USA ones. So 4th of July, those USA ones are going to fly.
Yeah, people are going to be sagging their pants so they can show those off, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So another thing that obviously we both like is shoes. Obviously, I'm into shoes. I haven't been in the brick game as much, or so-called brick game as much. Adam kind of put me on, and
I
it's
love
helped
me
me a
some
lot.
bricks.
Yeah, Adam cooks bricks. If you look in his inventory, it's walls of bricks. But I was always in the hype game, obviously, plug in sneaker releases and whatnot. But the market right now has kind of shifted a little bit. Not that the sneaker resale game's dead by any means; it's still quite alive, but it's just shifted a lot from the inventory that I normally like to invest in. And there's always money at these stores. If you hit up your TJ Maxx, your Burlington, your Marshalls, stores like that, it might not be a win every time, but there's a lot of stuff on the shelves right now, and that's kind of why we wanted to do like a time sensitive topic, because these are things that we are selling right now and that we are sourcing right now too. I think I went to a Burlington this week and a Ross actually. I think I cooked at the Ross more than I did the Burlington, and just a ton of cleats, football cleats, baseball cleats, softball cleats. It's springtime, kids are playing sports, and parents are looking for good deals. So if you can source those items and, check your comps, check your sell-through rates, price them somewhere between retail and resale market, it's going to be a dub. I try to do the same thing with my hype shoes, but right now it's brick season.
It is brick season. And Dan asks what bricks are. Bricks are basically just like shoes that didn't sell at retail. So like
Yeah.
a good example is if you've ever been to a Nike outlet or a Nike clearance store that's full of bricks. They're under retail price at clearance, and then you can sell them higher. Obviously, not everyone is going to be profitable. It depends on the one, but also Burlington is a good one. Kind of like he was talking about golf shoes. Got an example here. Just picked these up for $19.99. I would consider these brick golf shoes. Can't get myself in the frame very well. But $19.99, these are an easy 60, $70 every time I can find these. If you can find Nikes under like $25, it's pretty much always a go. Obviously, do your extra research, but that's almost like too easy. But bricks are basically just shoes that did not sell at retail, and they are reselling them at another store like Burlington, Marshalls, or the Nike outlet. We can make money on those.
Exactly. And I feel like You can kind of touch on this more, but I feel like a good pivotal point too for price point is that 1999 mark. I feel like if I find a cleat or like cycling shoes for whatever reason are super hot to resell, anything in the sportswear as far as shoes go, 1999 is like a really really good price point. You just don't see shoes all the
Yeah.
time for $20, so
Yeah.
there's plenty of meat on the bone.
I mean, I literally went to the Nike outlet store the other day and saw this exact same pair of shoes for like $55.
Yeah,
So, and I'm pretty sure Burlington's getting their overstock, the Nike outlets overstock. So somehow they're getting it for a cheaper price than $20 to make money on that. But sometimes Burlington's prices are crazy, but on Nikes and cleats and stuff, they seem to be keeping it pretty reasonable. Joe asks, I've been wanting to resell shoes, but the shipping is kind of high. Yeah, I get that. Just like with everything, you kind of got to build it into your price. So, like I always say, is to use the eBay shipping calculator and do the worst case scenario, which usually for shoes is going to be like 3 pounds max if you're shipping them like without the box or even with the box, maybe 4 pounds. The most it's going to run you is probably like $12, but most places around you is going to be around like 750 to $9. So you just kind of got to build that into your price and decide if it makes sense or not. Obviously, if you could ship cheaper than that, a lot more would make sense, but just a part of the game, you just got to build it in. Who better? How about the jerseys? Ja Morant and Aaron Hernandez. We were just talking about this in bread and butter. So inside joke there. Goon is the only one that sells Aaron Hernandez stuff though.
That is something maybe we could talk about a little bit though, because I did see a lot of. I know there's an inside joke involved, but there are like a lot of jerseys that you see at these places, and a lot of them are no name, no number jerseys. Like I saw a bunch. I mean, I don't know about you, but I try and find like a big brand to associate with a team before I pull the trigger on it, instead of just buying like NBA branded things or NFL branded things. Um, but even more so, oh sorry, even more so though, just like I kind of lost my train of thought because I was reading the
Sorry, I'm
comments.
just flashing comments up
No,
at
you're
you
good. You're
right
good.
now. They're
You're
coming
good.
in.
I was just trying to pick one up, but I was saying like associating big brands with sports teams to buy, but I mean, what are you looking for, and what are you pulling the trigger on? Whether it's price point, branding, stuff like that, with like sports gear, activewear.
Me?
Yeah.
So I guess I'm the only one you're talking to. I was like, is he talking like rhetorical or okay. Um so like yeah, like Nikes, if I can find them those cleats and everything under like $20, that's money. If I can find normal Nike shoes under $30. Now when I say I'm going to pick it up or when I say like that's a go, that means I'm going to look up the comps on it. So when I'm going through a Burlington, if I see Nikes under like $40, I'm snatching those things, throwing them in the cart and I'm looking them up. Some of them may only be worth like 60. But again, you got to do research on everything. If I see a Nike golf polo and it's under like $15, that's a go because it's probably going to be worth like 30. Again, depends on the colorway. Nike golf hat, if I see it, I've seen them occasionally at like $12.99 or under at Burlington or Ross. If I see that, it's usually a go because it's like $28 to $30. Kind of just going through Nikes here. As for like New Era hats, that depends on the team because New Era makes a lot of like MLB and other sports teams hats. That depends on how good the team is doing. Obviously, though, if you find one under like $10, it's most likely going to be a go, but you need to make sure. And New Era hats are kind of confusing because there's same with Mitchell and Ness. There's so many different styles of them.
Hard
It's
to
like
find.
hard to find the exact style and the exact comp. So you kind of just type in the name of the team, the brand, and then just look up like similar comps to try to get a read on what the market for that team in that brand currently is. So it definitely takes a lot of knowledge in this niche on how good the sports teams are doing and all these different sports. So if it doesn't interest you, again, like don't get into it. You're not going to enjoy it. There's plenty of other things that you can sell and make money on and you'll enjoy.
Right. And hats too, touch on that real quick. Hats are a lot lower cost to ship. And for the comment that we got just a minute ago about, being afraid to get into the shoe game because of shipping costs, there are some other like areas where you can start with though. I mean, the Crocs are a little bit lighter. Some of these like track shoes that you might source at
Mhm.
stores like these are super light. So you can ship some of these things for under or maybe just over a pound, and your shipping costs are going to be much lower that way. But
Also,
I
the
feel like,
authenticity.
what's that?
The new authenticity, the $15 shipping. Like if you're sourcing shoes over like $75,
True.
you don't even have to worry about shipping. They're going to just
Very true.
provide you a free label.
Yeah, and I had to ask Adam about this again because I thought it was still around $100. So what he's saying is any shoe that you sell on eBay now, if you list it for $75 and up, they're gonna send you a free label. So the buyer's kind of eating the fees at the end of the day, but that's really helping the sellers push more shoes because it's a less cost, obviously. So keep that in mind too. If you find some higher end shoes at these stores, don't be afraid to pull the trigger just because of shipping costs.
Yeah, I should clarify. It's not every shoe. They're not authenticating like Skechers over that.
Right.
It's gonna be like Nike,
Yep.
Adidas,
Big
um,
brands.
any big brands, yeah, that you're selling. They're gonna obviously authenticate, which is good for the buyer. But I've literally had buyers ask, like, I don't want this authenticated. I want this now. I don't want to wait 10 days. So you kind of
Yeah,
just work
it's a
with them.
process.
Yeah.
It's a process for sure. Yeah, hats, slow moving inventory, right? But I'm steady selling hats every week. I feel like it doesn't
Oh
even
yeah.
really matter the time of year there. Good, safe investment. Adam talked about certain brands and price points. Most of the hats that I've been moving are kind of lower end. They're like Russell brand college teams. I
Mhm.
still have a bunch of those from a store that I bought like over 100 from. Um, so
No, I move a lot of hats. You guys know that. But I also have probably like I don't even know. I don't even count, but you guys see how many bins. I probably have 4,000 hats right now, and I sell maybe like 5 a day. But it's just great bread and butter inventory that I know is going to sell. And a lot of those hats I've gotten under like $5. So it's just great
mhm.
investments. And I'd rather invest my money in hats than invest it in stocks right now.
Yeah. You know it's gonna move, you know you're gonna make money on it in the long term, so why not?
Daniel, longtime fan. Any advice for someone with a low budget? Well, I appreciate you for watching. First of all, low budget, hit up your local Goodwills, hit up your Goodwill bins, your local thrift stores, sell things from around your house. Use this to learn the game and to generate capital. And honestly, some people still do this and just do it full time thrifting or full time garage sailing. Garage sales are coming up. We wanted to mention that.
Mhm.
Lots of money to be made at these places. Yes, it's a lot more work. You got to sell things ones and twos, but you also get things like dirt cheap. Or if you're selling stuff from around your house that you don't use anymore, you're not paying anything for it. Tell people what you're doing. People are donating stuff every day to thrift stores. Tell friends and family members what you are doing, that you're trying to start up your business, start selling things on eBay. They may just give you stuff. They may give you stuff at a commission. I've gotten deals with people before where they give me some stuff and I split the profits with them, or I get 70%, they get 30. Like people are looking to get rid of stuff. And if they can make a little bit on it, you can give them $50 for a whole pile of stuff that you can make a few hundred on, then do it. So just kind of get your name out there, tell people what you're doing, start with selling things around the house, thrift stores, garage sales. And before you know it, you will build up a ton of capital.
Yeah. I always tell people the same thing. I get a lot of questions about on the sneaker side, like what's coming out that I should invest in, whether it be a long term hold or a quick flip. And from like the retail and online aspect, I would say the same thing as Adam. I mean, don't go spend your last $100 or $200 at a Marshalls or TJ Maxx whenever you've got next to free inventory sitting at your home that you can gain experience from. Um, I start there always. Start the cheaper route, the easy route, gain the experience, and then scale up. I'm not gonna tell somebody to cop a $210 pair of retros on their first go around, and then they brick, and you're out all of your investment, all of your funds to start a
Mhm.
business like that. So
Yeah, retail and online arbitrage, it takes capital and it's a lot riskier than those other ones. If you make a bad buy at a thrift store, okay, you're out like $4. You make a bad buy at online arbitrage, you bought like 100 pairs of something, like 100 pairs of underwear or whatever, you're out $400, like whatever it is. So definitely I always recommend starting that route. And then if you want to, you can scale up to retail or online. But some people just have fun doing the thrift game and they kill it at that, and
mhm,
they're making really good margins.
most definitely. What are like some of the hotter items that we've been selling here lately? Then I know you had one that we cooked in bread and butter here recently. That's been really really good margins.
The Red Lobster bib yesterday. Did you
Yeah.
see that?
Yes, I did. Yeah,
Bread and butter. Bread and butter secured 6 Red Lobster bibs, which sounds ridiculous, and it sounds like, oh great, you have how many members and you copped 6? There were
Good
only
percentage.
250 Red Lobster bibs dropped in the entire world or wherever they're selling these, and we got 6 of them.
That's eating up stock. That's a good percentage.
It's a really good percentage, and honestly, like Smokey just like sent that thing out like a hour before it happened.
Mhm.
I never get those like limited drops. I was just like shipping, and I was like, oh, it's noon. I sent out to everyone that it's live, and then I clicked the link, and it just popped up. I signed up, and it was like, you got a bib. And then I went back to general chat, and Smokey's like, yeah, there's only 250 of these. I was like, well, that was
Jeez.
lucky, and I took my time too.
Wasn't their advertisement like their marketing gauge towards like prom or homecoming or something like that?
Yeah, it was like wear your bib to homecoming or something.
Oh,
But
I
it's
got
like if
you.
you're doing that, why would you like only make 250 of them?
Yeah, we need more bibs. What was the cost and projected resale of that? You remember?
They were free,
Oh, geez.
dude. They
See,
were
more
free,
free
and
inventory. You don't super low cost.
I haven't checked eBay, but yesterday, like every listing was over like $300 because of how limited it was. I'm gonna
What?
just keep it and flex it in my videos.
What
My red
what did it
lobster
even look
bib.
like? Has it got a lobster on it?
It looks like actually not even like a bib. I thought it would be like this. It looks like a hair cutting like thing they put on. It's like a big
Oh,
like cape
they
that
call
goes
it
all
cape.
around
Yeah.
you.
Cape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah, I'm just
So
gonna wear it in every video.
you might look kind of weird walking into Red Lobster with a cape on.
You just see me like sourcing in Burlington. I'm just wearing my red
Flexing
lobster
the
bib.
cape. Dude,
Just
watch.
flexing.
One of these big celebrities or like an influencer is gonna be walking around wearing one of these capes.
Oh, I don't know if you wanted to
Ah,
ask this question. We might lose some viewers. I hate Poshmark. I'm not gonna lie. That's a
yeah, you're a
strong
big
word,
one.
but you
Mercari's a
have
big
to be so active on there to make sales. And they want to be like a social media platform, and you got to like and follow and share your closet every 5 seconds. I know there's share bots and everything, but like I don't have to do that with eBay. I list at the trending price, it sells, and I have 180 million users. Poshmark has like 20 million, and I think they're kind of falling off. But that's just my opinion. For used clothing and stuff, I think it's fine. You can cross list there. Just know you're gonna have to freaking up your closet every so often. I just think that's really annoying.
something else too. I mean, we've talked about some things that you can just walk into the store and buy off the rack or buy off the shelf, but during times like these, whenever certain things have slowed down, we really take some importance to like staying hip with the market and what's gonna be hot, what's gonna resell well. And a lot of these things aren't something that we just know about. Like
Mhm.
we've gotta stay up to date with news. Twitter's big for me, especially with sneaker drops. I would have never known that those Thunders were gonna shock drop. The Thunder Force shock dropped while I was sourcing at a Burlington actually this week, and somebody plugged the time, and of course I had my phone on me. So while I was sourcing at a store buying like 15 pairs of cleats, these Retro Force shock dropped. Boom, sneakers 5 seconds. Check those out, and that was like $100 win probably. Resale on those like 350 ish. It'll go down once those pairs come in, but retail was 210. So that's an easy $100 while I'm sourcing more money at the store. And we've had a lot more like time sensitive sellout drops like that we've plugged in bread and butter that a lot of us wouldn't know about if we didn't check our sources.
I agree with that. I don't want to talk to them.
Oh yeah, confrontation's not fun, especially with
Can I just ship you your item?
yeah.
I don't know
There
about
shouldn't be
you
a lot of
guys, but
confrontation.
every time I get that eBay notification and it's just the da but not the cha-ching, you just get that gut feeling. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
this is gonna be bad. There's a problem. I think they changed it now. It's like a double cha-ching, but now especially when you hear that first one, it's like, oh man, I gotta just take care of this because there's a problem. And then usually it's like, thanks for the shoes. It's like,
If I get a message, my stomach drops because I don't sell very many items weekly. So whenever I get a message about like eBay stuff, I'm like, oh, what order did I screw up? What label did I put on the wrong
yeah,
package?
exactly.
I remember one time I slapped the wrong labels on packages. This was crazy, actually. Slapped the wrong labels on 2 packages, and they just happened to sell in the same state as me within like an hour. Like these guys actually live like within 15 minutes of each other. No idea how I
Oh
pulled this
my
off.
gosh.
And I could not get them to let me pick up the items to swap to save costs. I couldn't get them. I know it's like against guidelines and stuff, but to take care of something like that yourself, what a coincidence. And they would not let me do it. They're like, "Oh, I don't want to do that." So I ended up just like sending the
Dang.
person. I had extra stock, so I sent the second person extra of what I sold them originally and made it right. But like, what are the chances of that?
That's yeah, and then why wouldn't they do that? Like, come on.
Yeah, it was easy for everyone. I was like, I'll literally drive to you guys and do the mediation myself and get these items in the right hands. They wouldn't let me do it.
Mm. Well, we couldn't get through a session here without talking about Crocs. You guys know I love Crocs. Crocs are always selling, all different kinds. In the winter, I'm buying up a ton of summer Crocs. In the summer, I'm buying up a ton of winter Crocs. Haven't seen any good lined Croc deals yet. Be looking for those hopefully to come this summer in the group. Anyone who's in there going to be posting lots of lined Crocs deals because those always fly for a lot of money in the winter and they're super cheap in the summer. But what are the ones I've been selling right now? There's a lot of actually really good ones at like Burlington. Attaboy's been posting them. Lots of good like $20 ones at Ross and Burlington, and on Amazon they go for like 45, 50 bucks, 40, 45 bucks on eBay. Obviously not all of them, depends on the colorway. I actually found some Echoes the other day, which if you don't know what Crocs Echoes are, it's like the highest end Croc. It kind of looks like a Yeezy a little bit. And those things go for like 70, 80 bucks, and they were 30 bucks. So I found that at Burlington. So definitely add that to your repertoire. Look up Crocs if you're not already doing that because that brand is hot and I don't see it going anywhere for the time being. I mean, everyone's wearing Crocs.
Yeah, everybody's trying to mimic Crocs. They're super comfortable. Not that I would know from experience because I've never worn a pair, but that's what I hear people say. Super comfortable and convenient. They're easy to put on and take
Mhm.
off. So I don't see them going anywhere in the market here soon.
No, no, it definitely doesn't hurt to cross list, especially when you're starting out. That's a great way to pump sales, posting on more and more platforms. Just be careful you don't sell it a bunch of different places. I mean, the odds of someone buying of the same item selling two places at once is slim. So,
Yeah,
I mean, go ahead. There's cross listing services too that you can use. Flip is
most definitely.
free.
If you stay up to date with it, like Adam said. But I mean, it makes sense. Why not maximize your sales for the amount of inventory that you have? Give yourself as many
Mhm.
chances as possible. Adam just talked about the amount of users on Poshmark versus the amount of users on eBay. So why would you not try and touch every single one of them?
Yeah, exactly. When you're starting out, sure, cross post to Poshmark. I'm just not going to waste my time with
Right.
what I have. I
Any
only
platform
cross,
for that
yeah, I
matter.
only cross list to Amazon when I have something that can sell on eBay and Amazon and then Mercari. And that's only on items that I have multiples of. If I have singles, like the amount of items I have, there's no way I would remember to pull them. Or I would remember, but like if I'm selling 15 to 30 items a day, I don't want to have to go to all those other platforms that many times and pull them off. Plus, I just list things where they sell the best, and I have a lot of multi-quantity listings, so those I cross post to the other platforms.
And we've seen like a lot of collectors items here lately shift in market. We saw
Mhm.
cards go crazy in the past few years. I'm still investing in cards a little bit, probably not as much as I was before. There's some drops coming out. There's some drops coming out at the end of this month that I want. I want that UFC. What was that? Is that just a random slab you got chilling?
Deion Sanders PSA
Oh, that's
8.
decent. But I want that UFC
Relevant.
drop at the end of this month with the Hasbulla pools in there. I don't know why, but I think the card is gonna go
Oh
crazy.
yeah,
Just
card
for
anything has Bula is going to be insane.
yeah. So I mean cards and then other collectors items too, shoes, obviously the market shifted a little bit, but right now
Mhm.
Hot Wheels are hot.
Yeah, when
Super
you
hot.
get in on those like RLC exclusive ones, we've been cooking those in the group. Holy crap, those are money.
Yeah, and the
Hot,
margins are sick too.
yeah, Hot Wheels collectors go crazy on those. We had some people cop like 5 or 6 of the last one. I think it wasn't a like really good one, but it was solid. It's like a solid like 30 to 60, $65 flip. The one
Yeah.
before it though sold out in like a minute or two. I know a couple members got in on that one, and that one's like 30 to like 110, 120. That thing was
Yeah.
crazy. But there seems to be one or two profitable drops at that a month now.
Yeah, which is I mean that's plenty of opportunity to make money. And they're small, super easy to ship too, cheap to ship. So that's something that is a perfect example of us just, staying up to date with the market and the
Mhm.
things that are valuable to collectors. And I mean those are collectors items. It's different than just buying merchandise that we're selling on eBay that could sit in our store for a while. These are
Right.
quick flips mostly. They're hot now, they're selling now.
Yeah, there's only a set quantity of these. When you have like shoes and underwear and stuff, like people are always buying more of those because they're just running through them and they always need more. These they make these sets like one time and then it's
Yeah.
done, and they're then any of them that are numbered pretty much are going to be money.
Yeah. And like you said, they're numbered, so a lot of them have stock levels. Whenever you're buying clothes and hats and some shoes, who knows what the stock levels are. So that's good bread and butter inventory, but
Mhm.
it's also good to keep an eye out for the quick flips along the road.
I want to give a shout out to Kraken and Bread and Butter. Oh my gosh, he brought the heat last week. He got the $1 Jordan hats that sell all day for like $20. They had adult and kids. I don't care if it's a freaking toddler hat for $1 that has the Jordan logo on it. Like I got a bunch of the kids ones for $1. Checked them out. I'm selling those ones for like $16. The men's ones are going for like 20. It's too easy. And then on top of that, he put the icing on the cake. He called out, I don't know the Samsung phone names. He called out a
Yeah,
Samsung Z Fold 2 5G phone that was $400, which just looking at it, it's like, okay, that phone is massive and that seems like a good price. You look up the comps, it goes for like 700 to 850. We ate the stock in like 5 minutes. That was just a crazy cook.
that is insane. Over $300 profit on one item. And we're normally selling like $5 to $20 bills whenever we're talking about these low margin flips. So to be able to cook something and make $300 on one flip, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. This is everything we're talking about. We call out all these in the group.
Yeah. But I mean, these are things that we would be sourcing and trying to buy even without the group. It's just the group is one of the resources that that we talk about taking advantage of, and it helps us so much. It's helped me a ton in the past couple of years.
No, we don't. We're not really into bots. We're not trying to be like other cook groups. We're all manual stuff. We find the stuff other groups don't go for.
Tons of bolos too, like stuff that we're talking about now. Even some of the things that we've kind of covered generally in the group, as far as like these cleats and stuff, we might not go super specific, but we know that these items are being loaded in the store, so that's what we're sourcing.
Yeah, I would definitely just focus on eBay, especially if you're making more sales on there. If you put all your time and energy there, um, I think you're gonna do really good.
Yeah. I want to talk about too something I talked about with Adam a little bit. Aside from like the retail and online stuff, right now too, if you're in the Midwest or somewhere that experiences seasons, I was telling Adam that a lot of people are moving like their spring, whether it's lawn equipment or their toys,
Mhm.
quads side by side, stuff like that, or even sports equipment. Maybe they're getting their golf clubs out and they're like, oh, I'm ready for a new set. There's deals going out on stuff like that right now. I've seen a lot of lawnmowers that people just don't feel like putting time into because maybe they didn't put fresh gas in it or they didn't change the oil in it. So they went to pull start it and it's not working. So if you're willing to put in just a little bit of sweat work, now's the time to flip stuff like that. And also something that we mentioned before, yard sales, they're about to be hot. They pretty much hit a dead end in the Midwest whenever winter comes. But I know Memorial Day around me is crazy for yard sales.
Yeah, it's insane here, and estate sales and everything. I feel like those even
Mhm.
pick up in the summer. Those are great places to start your businesses. And even if you're like still, even if you're doing this full time, like Dana Invests, if you guys watch him, he hits
Crush it.
up garage sales all the time, kills it. Same with estate sales. You got to kind of have an eye for different things, but that's where like going to the thrift stores and kind of looking up like used items like that and brands, it kind of gets in the back of the head. You start building like a memory bank, like what items to look for, and you'll just have items that start popping out to you and you'll be able to find them and make some money.
Yeah, and that adrenaline that we get from finding something in a retail store, I can only imagine what it's like whenever you find something like that at a garage sale. I've seen some of Dana's wins, and oh my goodness, I would freak out if I saw some of the stuff that he did at a yard sale.
Yeah, he grinds at these. I'm reselling, but interested in getting supplies shipped directly to me. What amount of capital is 500 enough? Honestly, if you haven't resold in the past, I wouldn't even dive right into online or retail. Like we said at the beginning, start with thrift stores, start with things around your house. Even if you have
Mhm.
an unlimited supply of money, or even if you have $500, you're going to lose it really quick in retail or online with bad buys if you don't know what you're doing. So I would still start that route. It is going to take a little longer, but it's also a lot safer. And it's just one of these games. You really got to learn your niche. You got to learn what price to buy things at and what they're going to sell for, because markets are constantly changing. Even if the comps say something's trending at 50, you got to know like that item, that brand, this time of year, it's going to go down.
Yeah.
It's just all about markets. It's kind of its own little market, like the stocks in
Yeah.
itself.
I mean, if you've got like a bunch of experience under your belt, I feel like 500's a good amount to start with online, but at the same time, like Adam said, you can exasperate your funds super quick. A lot of the stuff that we're calling out online, like we're spending quite a bit of money on it just because we're buying a lot of quantity to hold and resell, but
Hmm.
also like we're trying to get a high enough quantity to stack with codes or free shipping or something to incentivize the purchase even more.
How can I level up like you guys? Selling on Amazon is hard. I sent my first small shipping. I think I'll focus on eBay. Yeah, Amazon definitely is a different animal, and you got to deal with a lot of returns there. So definitely, I would work on leveling up your eBay game. Anytime you have stale listings or anything, if your sales are slow, go back to those stale listings, end them, sell similar, look at the market. That's really all I'm doing. I honestly, when quarter 4 hits, I'm not even sourcing anymore. I've sourced everything that I could. All I'm doing is going back through my store, seeing anything that hasn't sold or isn't getting any watchers, deciding why. Usually it's because my price is off or I messed something up in the listing, throwing that back up there. So it's constantly just turning over your store. And I think if you do that, you'll do pretty well. And just scale up one day at a time. Don't try to scale up too fast and try to get like the big dogs. Like I've been doing this for like 14 years. You're not going to get there overnight. It takes time.
Yeah. And don't get discouraged about the Amazon thing
Mhm.
because I've had an Amazon account and store ready to go for quite a while now. I've been bouncing back and forth to Adam about it, and I still haven't, become ungated on any one specific item or even like hit the ground running with Amazon. So just having like that little bit of experience with it's probably going to put you ahead of the game. So don't get discouraged.
Definitely. Reselling anything and everything is mentally exhausting. I like being a one trick pony. I agree with that. I sell a wide variety of things, but I pretty much focus to hats, shoes, men's clothing. And then if I find something else, like I'll look in those areas, but occasionally I'll sell some other stuff from pallets or whatever, but I stick to those areas. And I definitely agree. It can be exhausting trying to learn a bunch of different areas.
Yeah. Oh, nice. This stuff's in the works. I've gotten a few messages about that stuff, and Adam and I are trying to work on something else together. So I don't know. Stay tuned. It's in the works, but stuff like this hopefully will be available sooner than later.
Yes. Hopefully some hustle merch coming soon.
Yes, yes, we're working on it. We just want to give you guys like good quality stuff. We're not just flipping Gildan t-shirts out here. We're trying to do better.
No Gildens. We'll just make
No,
a
no
shirt that
Gildan.
says no Gildens on it.
Honestly, that might sell.
We
We're,
probably would.
we're giving
We
you
might
guys
get
the threads.
we
If we
might get
if we
sued.
yeah, maybe. We're gonna give you guys the threads and the quality though if we do this. So we're working on it though.
Do you have a Hasbula hat on right now?
I do. I was
I was trying
referencing
to
that
figure
one
out the
from
whole time what that
PFP.
said.
Yeah,
I feel like
Hasbula.
I look arrogant. I have a hat of myself on it, but it's Adam's
Yeah.
golf. That's all I play.
I didn't even do the shameless plug today. I'm wearing all about sneakers hat.
Yeah, Bread and Butter's on Discord. You can check out more about it on our website, Bread and Butter. I always forget it.
So good.
Bread and Butter Resell.com, not
Mm.
group.
Yep. Right.
I tend to price a little lower than market considering I just made eBay a month ago. I feel like it'll help me solidify my profile. Yeah, just don't go tanking items, please. Like, especially
Yeah.
like on these. If I see these things trending at like $65 and I see someone throw them out there at $49 and whatever, that just annoys me. Like that they go $15 below. Like if you want to go a penny or two below, yeah, go for it. But if you tank the market by like $5 or $10, other people go beneath you, and before you know it, you're hurting all of us. So definitely, if you want to be the lowest price, that's fine by like a penny or two, but don't go crazy.
Yeah, we see that a lot. Don't have paper hands and try and get your money back too fast. There's a way to do that and a way not to do that. And a way not to do that would be is like sourcing one item that resells that's hot and price tanking
Mhm.
that. Do it on like a quantity play. Don't try and boost like your whole eBay store with one listing. Try and
Mhm.
boost your listing in and of itself. So like if you bought 10 of the same hat, and market's $25 for that hat. Maybe you list your first one for $19.99, sell one or two, boom, your listing's boosted. Now let's get the price back up to market so that we don't make a lot of resellers mad. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
we gotta kind of ally here and keep the prices high so that we can all make money.
Yeah, like yeah, you can make a quick buck, but you're like hurting all these other people, and it may
Yeah,
come back to you at some point.
and you're hurting yourself too. Like if you do that with one item, what are you
Yeah,
gaining? It's not helping you.
I'd rather wait and make the extra 15 bucks 3 days later. For sourcing, do you use any other apps or software other than eBay? For eBay sourcing, no. I literally just use eBay and look at the sell-through rates. I have that video. You can check that out. Just type in sell-through rates eBay. I think it's like the first one that comes up now on YouTube, which is nice. The algorithm's finally rewarding me. But I kind of talk about like how to decide how to buy items with the total actives versus solds, and you can kind of just do all the research right there.
I think really the only time that I get outside of eBay whenever I'm uh, checking comps is like if I cannot find an exact comp and I know it's got to be out there somewhere, I might Google it and just see if similar stuff is full price instead of on sale. That way I know that most of the time people are brand loyal to these apps, like brand loyal
Mhm.
to eBay, oddly enough. But I still kind of want to have it in the back of my mind that they can't go somewhere else and get it for much cheaper than what I'm listing it for. But
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only case. I'm about the same way. I'm just checking comps and sell through on eBay.
Yeah, and if you're selling on Amazon like big time, you definitely need more than just the Amazon seller app. You should use like Keepa or Seller Amp. I know people have differing opinions on those. I think there's Jungle Scout too, or Jungle IQ. Jungle Scout's something else, I feel like, but it's one of those. But those are further research tools that can help you actually show you like how many of an item that someone has. So that can be very, very helpful to see like how many Amazon has in stock or how many they've sold, how many sell a month. So things like that. Amen to that.
Let's go. Nice name too.
Pizza. Yeah.
I don't think pizza flips. We could
Pizza
try.
pizza.
I'm sure there's a
I have flipped things from Taco Bell. We'll try Pizza Hut next. How do you guys do taxes? I don't pay taxes.
yeah, never have.
I have a good CPA that tells me exactly what they need, and I give it all to them.
Yeah.
I have a video on taxes as well.
Yeah. Taxes is tough. We're at that time right now. That's something to keep in the back of your mind too. There's two different types of people during tax time. There's the ones that get their return, and that's normally like turn of the year, like the first part of the
Mhm.
year. And then there's people that, have to owe in taxes and they're putting it off till close to the last minute.
I've never
And
once
that kind of
gotten a return.
what's that?
I've never once gotten a return. I only have to pay. I don't ever get paid back.
I I did a little bit better this year than I have in the past. I thought I was going to get totally screwed on taxes and I didn't. But I like to like for eBay stuff, my store's pretty small, so I don't really know where you track your stuff, but I just track mine on Excel. I do like once you have a video on this, we don't need to elaborate a ton, but on a small scale, I just track my listings and price and net and gross and cost of goods sold, and that's a pretty easy way to track your profit and what you're gonna have to owe in taxes. You got write-offs,
Mhm.
obviously. Anything to do
Yeah.
with your business, you can write it off.
You find a good accountant, they're going to tell you how to do your taxes and how to
Yeah.
use the system for your good. Is it too late to do your taxes? I mean, yeah, tax day was the 18th, but if you filed an extension, if you file an extension, no, like I had to file an extension. It's a
Is
whole
it too
thing.
late? Well, I mean, you
But
could
yeah,
do
I
it
mean, if
next
you
year, but you're
don't,
gonna owe back taxes.
you're gonna have some interest on that.
Yeah,
Oh, not just
better
any
late than
pizza.
never. I want to know where this is going.
Yeah. How long can we expect Burlington to have these profitable football cleats? Do they typically have stock? Honestly, this is not normal for Burlington. Last year, this time they had lost the Nike deal. Same with like Ross. So all the Nikes that weren't at the Nike outlets were going to Marshalls. And the way I understand it is Nike basically told them like we can sell these ourselves, and they were loading the outlets and they weren't selling them. So then they got the Nike deal again, I think in December with Burlington and Ross, and that's why we're now seeing a ton of cleats and stuff pop up. So it just and you never really know. It depends like how much they get on them. I wish I had a crystal ball, and I wish that I knew that they would keep having this because it certainly is supplying my business with tons of quick flipping inventory.
It'd be really interesting to know too, like the deals that go on behind the scenes there, like what Nike's pushback is on that, and these discount retailers. Oh
I
my
mean, I
god!
would get like with an accountant or something like ASAP because I don't know. I couldn't tell you how to extend my taxes. My accountant were just working through things and they're like, I'm going to file an extension, like just pay this much right now because an extension to file is not an extension to pay. So you were supposed to have already paid. So I just
Yeah,
paid an estimated thing and then we're going to work it out and I'll either get a refund or have to owe more if that was off.
that's interesting.
Crystal ball.
Yeah, you should probably call like TurboTax tech support and see where you get with it.
I don't know about TurboTax. Those guys don't
Uh,
care.
what's the name?
I found a local one. Those are the best.
That's who I deal with. I sit down with mine. Actually, like I try and do my taxes start to finish. I've got a couple different forms that I have to work on, but I try and do mine start to finish and get a good understanding of it. And then I actually sit down with mine and work it out. And she kind of helps me understand things more and what I, could use help on and what I could do better on. But I
Maybe
like
we'll have to do an
understanding it.
entire people are interested in this and viewers are going up. Maybe we'll have to do an entire session like next year, like around tax time, just on
Yeah.
taxes. See if we can get an accountant up in here and ask some questions.
We're honestly like now that it's relevant and tax time just came, we could do it sooner than later, and then people will know like what to do throughout the year with their businesses. That way, they're more
That's true.
prepared come tax time. It's just listening and doing it though, seriously. Because if you put it off and you don't start acting now throughout the year, and you're just like, oh, I'll worry about it when our tax time comes. That's how you hurt yourself.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that.
Yeah, it'd be
I have a
fun.
video, but it's not super helpful because I basically just tell people to go to an accountant. But like,
We could
I mean,
just
that's what it is. They tell me what to do.
we could just hop on here and then press play on your video.
Yeah, for sure.
Just play it through the whole play it
Just
through the whole way.
I think I can do that actually. Do I do
Sweet.
thrifting ever? Not really. It's just I've always done new things and I've built up so much capital now that I like to do volumes. I like to buy more than one of something. Obviously, if I'm buying these cleats and stuff, I'm not buying more than one, which by the way, side note, found these puppies today. $200 is what these go for, and these were 25 at Burlington. I don't know that I would rock these, but I can see someone else pulling these off. But anyways, I like to do like bigger single items like that, and do volume plays like online where I can buy 10 to 20 items of something and sell the same listing 10 to 20 times.
I still go to thrifts. Like I'll go to he's a thrift guy. I still go to thrifts just like hoping that I'm gonna find that one thing that I've always been looking for. But every time I go, I get disappointed. But most of the time that I go to thrifts, I'm looking for, hype shoes. And I'll see retros and like nice areas at Plato's Closet or Goodwill or something. And it's like the store always knows what they have and they overprice it. I'm going to be posting a video probably in the next week or two. Sourcing trip. Actually, my last sourcing trip at Burlington will be on there, but also some thrifts. So you'll see like some of the crazy prices that Plato's Closet or Goodwill are asking for some beat up retros.
Do I ever get orders canceled because they send some a reseller? Yeah, I mean it happens, but not like super often. If it's on some site that I know they're probably going to do it, then I'll just order in like fives, and I'll just keep slightly like changing my address a little bit, like putting spaces and periods and stuff, and then using different credit cards, placing smaller orders. But I don't go through that most times. Like I ordered once from Nordstrom Rack like 350 Mets hats, and I mean, they shipped them all in like 2 boxes. Like, I feel like most of those places, the people working at those warehouses that would be canceling are probably like, great, we get to clear out this whole section. He just bought us out. Cause usually, like, when I find a good item that I know I'm going to sell, I clear stock. So usually they just send it all to me. I think they're happy with it, actually.
They're probably like laughing, like, "Oh, we couldn't sell them. Good luck to this guy."
Yeah, right.
But
What's
on the go ahead.
what stores do I source? In store, I'm sourcing Marshalls, TJ Maxx, which haven't been great lately, but they're kind of coming back. Burlington, Ross. Um, I don't really source Walmart or anything much. I got some bins places that I go, kind of just all over the place, honestly. Online, probably like 40 different sites now that I check every single day. Again, like I said earlier, the sites online deals aren't that great right now, but the in store is hot. So it's give and take. There's always good things at good times of the year, bad things other times of the year. Like there's always places to make money. So pretty much anywhere you can make profit, that's where I'm sourcing.
Yeah. Anywhere that's hot. I was gonna say on the flip side of things, I thought that question meant like, have you ever had orders canceled on the buyer end of things? Like you sold something to somebody on eBay and they're like, "Oh, they got this for a really good deal. I'm sending it back." I haven't had that happen to me, but I have been banned from sites for buying too many pairs of shoes that were limit one per customer. But like Adam said, I don't feel like any of these retailers care unless it's something that like had a specific stock level and it was meant to sell out. Then they might care a little bit more about getting it to the end consumer, to the right person. Some of these sneaker sites have tried to mitigate bots and resellers. It's never going to work. It's always going to be a never-ending battle. But
It's a show.
yeah, honestly, when it
I
comes
mean,
out to
Nike says like, oh, we don't want to sell to resellers, and then their outlet stores they let you buy 10 of a kind now. It used to be 5. They said, oh, we don't like to sell to resellers. They cracked down on the bots and everything, and then a month later they up their outlet stores from 5 to 10. Those places especially are just looking to move those bricks.
Yeah, every year they say the same thing.
Do I know where to get video games? Right, that is not my bread and butter, unfortunately. I mean, I have sold some video games, but I mean, you can go to GameStop, but they're not not going to be cheap.
We've seen some good leads on price errors on video games in the past through the Cook Group. That's
those
something
3-cent ones.
Yeah, just I mean, I don't really know a good way of looking at it other than finding. I don't want to just like say it, but you can look online and try and find price errors, and some people will post leads on specific stores, and you can just, I mean, go yourself and see if you can find some of those that scan in at a different price. They're out there everywhere.
Yes, exactly what Chuck said. Exactly what I did. I got my taxes done. Now we filed an extension. I sent in everything. I sent in the money. We just have a slight thing. I got to up it to an S corp, so it just has to be changed a little bit. I mean, I don't even know how any of that works, but they've got it handled. Definitely pay a CPA, someone that knows what they're doing. Don't try to do this yourself.
Especially whenever you have a business, like an eBay business or something. Protect yourself, one. And second, the investment to pay a CPA is like next to none. Just do it.
It's like $400 a year, and that's a write-off in itself to make sure that everything's getting done correctly.
Yeah,
there's no reason not.
Nowhere near that even, and I'm like super thankful for it.
But yeah, I mean, mine used to be less. They keep upping it the more you make.
Yeah, you have a lot. You have a ton to keep track of, so I understand that. Yeah, everything that I do is on a much smaller scale. But we're probably going to see these rates go up in the next year if they finally, push out these different platforms to make you file taxes over $600. If like Goat and StockX and eBay and all these start piling forms on us, then yeah, your tax person's going to be, number one, way more stressed out. And number two, they're probably going to make more money because they're not going to do more work for free.
But well worth it, not having to try to figure out how to do all that yourself.
Oh, most definitely.
That's enough tax talk. I freaking hate talking.
Yeah, tax. We just got done with that. We should be like celebrating being done with taxes. Like we're done.
Well, I'm not, but I'm almost.
I'm done.
I mean, they're done, but they're not. It's a whole thing.
Until next year.
Yes, exactly. Especially if you don't know what you're doing, you could flag something and then get audited for it on something that could have easily been avoided. Like, just you're probably a ton of headaches.
You're probably gaining way more attention too if you file late. So like if you screw something up, it's probably gonna get caught way more times than not if you didn't file on time. If that makes sense, just file your taxes on time. You have so much time to do it. You get even if you just have a normal 9 to 5, you get your W-2 in the mail or a 1099 in the mail. What, January, end of January at the latest?
Yeah.
So don't put it off. You work all year long to make that money. Don't mess it up just because you're being procrastinator.
What else do we have? I think we've covered most of the stuff on my sheet.
We've talked about a lot of good resale items. I mean, pay attention to the seasons. Pay attention to hype items that are time sensitive. Markets have shifted a lot. So, I mean, we've mentioned a couple things that, might shock drop or have exclusive access, or they might be numbered releases that are going to be worth buying to resell. stay hip to all that. Stay hip to the seasons, your bread and butter. Make sure you're sourcing in the right areas at the right times.
Yeah, we kind of touched on that a little earlier, like buying things out of season. Like I'm always staying ahead of the seasons. I think that's why I'm able to sell a lot right now. I bought a ton of like summer style of Crocs several months ago, like really cheap. I'm almost out of them, so my sales are probably going to dip a little bit because that's been like the majority of what I'm selling. But that's right. There's always more to sell, and the summer is going to be slower. It's when we're building up inventory for quarter 4. But at this time, I'm looking towards winter. Actually, one I wanted to mention was during the Kohl's sale online, Caleb called out these Adidas like puffer vests,
Oh,
which I
yeah.
thought, did you see those?
Yeah, I did.
I thought those were only going to sell in the winter. I was just talking to him the other day in the DMs. Those were $22 each. He's selling them for $80 a pop on eBay. He was asking us if we had any more of them left. He wanted to like buy some, I'm pretty sure. Because he sold like 25 of the 30 ones that he bought, and they had tons available. I mean, those were live for like several hours. So anyone that ate up on those didn't even have to wait till winter. Like that was easy money.
Yeah, people style those in the spring and fall, so I feel like that could be a year-round item. Stuff that you just don't expect sometimes.
Right. Just stay ahead of the trends, stay ahead of the seasons. It's easy.
Definitely.
Crazy idea. Yeah, there's money to be made everywhere. I say it in every single video. You can make
Yeah.
it all parts of the store, any store.
There's money to be made everywhere, guys. Let's go get it. Thank you for watching The Millennial Prophet. It's true though. That's like a good thing to live by in the reselling game. And it's something that we mentioned at the beginning of the pod. I mean, you can make money on everything. Everything's for sale. It just depends on the price. If the price is right, it'll sell.
Yep. Anything can sell. So I think we're done. I'm done if you're done.
Yeah, I think we covered a lot of good things. And if we
Yeah.
have any questions, this live's going to post. So make sure you wait until it posts, come back, drop a comment, and we'll see
Yeah.
it then. And we can talk about it in our next episode, or maybe we can answer some questions in the comments. DMs are always open.
Yep.
Adams and at All AB Sneakers.
Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for Austin too. He's putting out some great content for you guys. We got some cool
great
collabs coming.
stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so excited about it.
I
So
can't
excited.
wait for that one.
We're gonna have fun this summer. I've got a lot of good ideas for sneaker related content, and it's gonna be more fun for me because I get to get out and film content that I'm actually having fun doing, rather than, not that the release guides and stuff aren't fun, but we can do a lot better, and you're gonna see that.
Yeah. Lots of stuff coming. So we appreciate you guys so much. There's money to be made everywhere, guys. Let's go get it. Thank you for watching All About
Profit. Let's go.